Hello. Today I want to discuss a few things about that have been troubling me this week. The theme, I guess you could say, is something like, why is the left allowed to get away with such radicalism and such aggression?
And behold, they said to Antifa to come and do whatever Antifa does in that location. It was a Christian event, so it was organized by a number of churches together. I was one of the speakers. Before everything started, the Antifa, dressed in black, about 25, 30 of them, started to throw fire bombs on children and women. I mean, can you imagine babies in strollers, fire bombs, smoke bombs, tear gas, rotten eggs, and the whole craziness. Before even everything started, the police was watching this whole thing, seeing what was going on, the women and children being attacked, and they did absolutely nothing, nothing. So what we did, we continued with the event in the exact location we said we would at the Battleship Memorial. So I gave a speech over there. I'm going to publish it today. And
Art Pawlowski was having a rally in Portland, in Oregon, and they were attacked by Antifa during the rally. And as I hear, the police were actually the ones that redirected the rally to a different area, and at that area, Antifa attacked the rally. It was a Christian rally. Anyhow, to get to the point, I'm looking at Christianity generally speaking, and the one reoccurring theme I keep hearing is that we must forgive our enemies. We have to forgive, we have to make allowances, turn the other cheek. This is what I hear. A good Christian response. It is unworthy of us to hate our enemy. It is unworthy of us to retaliate against an enemy. However, in our time, as I believe that turn the other cheek has actually transformed into a form of cowardice. Antifa and many other groups that seek to destroy the church as it exists in our time are not interested in our moral authority or our restraint. They're interested solely in destroying the relevance of the church first and foremost, destroying literally the institution itself, the buildings, also to intimidate us and to make us afraid, deeply afraid, to worship freely in the open, to remove the institution in which we go to worship is a place of reverence, a place of sacredness. So the act of destroying it essentially is they want to disgrace us, but they want us in absolute fear to go to that place of worship and never to feel free again, but rather to be afraid. So they have very cleverly and very effectively created the gateway of intimidation tactics, which is what you saw at the rally that I showed you earlier. So in this way, they hope to subvert us. So in a way, we have to defend it as part of our narrative, our story, our family history, as a historical, invaluable asset to the community. There are many people that are courageous, don't get me wrong, that people will stand up, but they're so few and far between. Generally speaking, it is very deeply uncomfortable. It's hard to bring out that kind of personality in you, aggression, to match the aggression of the people who seek to destroy the church. And many people will probably disagree with me on that tactic, but I ask you this question. The church is under attack right now. Nobody in the media, nobody even in government is willing to stand up for us. How can we encourage people to be not afraid of the enemy, but rather afraid to lose the church? Because the church will be taken from us. It's already happening now. And each time a church gets burned down, it escalates. Our enemies become more brave, more cunning, more ambitious. There is something about the churches that they're hundreds of years old, so they're a piece of art, in a sense, a piece of beautiful history that is more than just limited to the bounds of Christianity itself. People spent time and effort and energy to build that place up, and then time and energy to maintain it and to ensure that it would last several hundred years, or however, whatever age the church is, and then be burned down in a relatively short amount of time. This outcome is not by chance. It's not an accident. It is a coordinated effort that has been established by people that carefully planned and executed these things. There is a sentiment of anti-Christianity in Canada that keeps on growing. That's why the church is under an imminent threat of, say, being outlawed, or you know how it's going to go, I'll tell you. The residential schools stoke the fires of anger in the hearts of Canadians. At least that's what the mainstream media wants you to believe. In truth, it's all controlling the narrative, in a sense, to stoke hatred, resentment, and anger amongst people against the institution that built this country and helped to shape it. They want us to forget our own history and to disgrace our own history. So, in a sense, the burning of the churches is a symbol of the new order establishing control. And what they will do to us down the line is that if they don't limit us worshiping again, which they will, another thing they will do is by constitution, or by litigation, by law, they will outlaw the worship of Christianity in Canada eventually. Maybe it take 15 years or 20 years, but as I see it, they will put a pretense in the law to prevent that kind of freedom to worship Christianity in Canada. That's the trajectory I see that we're on, because there's no pushback, you see. In our time, it has become normal to allow such things, and the pushback is few and far between. Generally speaking, people are quite frightened by that thing. They're taken aback, they're taken off guard, and they disperse. I refer, of course, to what happened with Antifa, but if the individuals had been a stronger, united front, Antifa cannot penetrate. They cannot come to the dais and destroy everything from what you saw earlier in that clip. They will be repelled. or they might not attack in the first place because they know that it's a unified front. This is the kind of mindset. It's almost like wartime in a sense. We have to become tough and strong and look for attack and prepare for attack. Look, like, expect an attack. I don't think they're going to stop burning down churches. They're going to keep becoming more and more ambitious about how they're going to destroy the churches. Even the bishop in our province doesn't want an investigation made into the lives or an autopsy into the bodies from the children from the residential schools. It remains a mystery because it's already fulfilled its purpose. Its purpose was to stoke anger amongst people, to stoke resentment and hatred against the institution, the media, and people that hate Christianity want to create that sentiment. So, because they're using that so that they can take its place, essentially. They want God and Christianity and the beauty of Catholicism away, to replace it with something more insidious. Believe me, when the communists get in, this sort of thing hasn't happened only one time. It's happened many times around the world. And when the communists get in, they use religious pretenses at their own. Even Marx was using many Christian pretenses to come up with his evil doctrine. It was a corruption of some of the words in the Bible, and a skewing of the meaning of those words. Marx is they are people that have twisted the true thing and the ultimate human selfishness and corruption and lying. But of course, many crimes have occurred in this world because of misdirection and trapping. So I would like to conclude this video with this question: how can we as a people be united to be strong enough to defend the church in this time, to have strong enough resolve and personality to be prepared? Christianity is under attack, and that its position is extremely fragile. We will not receive any support from Rome, because Rome will advocate for something like to get along peacefully. But that is the wrong decision in this time. We are now at war with communism and its subversion rising in this country and the United States. And if we don't do something about it, then the church will be taken away from us. Thank you for watching.